Welcome to Guide to Survive. The world is a big, beautiful place, full of incredible and breathtaking sights and experiences. It's also doing everything it can to kill you, and so that's where this program fits in. Before you venture into the great outdoors, you need to learn about all of the terrifying and mystical creatures that lurk in the woods, knock on your window, and hide in your toilet. With this guide, you'll learn how to identify a would-be assailant, analyze its strengths and weaknesses, and deal with it effectively. By the end of your training, you'll be ready to take on any creep or cryptid that crosses your path. So here's to you, and the great adventure that lies ahead. Let's begin.
Target analysis. Name: Llamhigyn Y Dwr, Water Leaper. Class: Cryptid, Giant Amphibian. Habitat: ponds, swamps, rivers and lakes, Wales. Lifespan: unknown. Strengths: venomous stinger, a sonic screech which temporarily stuns its prey, and powerful appendages which enable the creature to swim at great speeds and briefly fly above the water. Weaknesses: slow movement speed outside of water, and vulnerable to conventional weapons such as firearms. Overall threat level: 6. Behaviour. Wales, an ancient land steeped in myth. Great valleys and hills that tower high into the heavens and are swept across the country, kept lush and green by the rivers and streams that flow throughout the countryside, often gathering into idyllic ponds and lakes. It's enough to make any traveller stop and enjoy the view, perhaps even kick off their shoes and take a dip in the cool waters. However, those waterways have always carried more than just lifeblood of any civilization, and occasionally run red enough to show it. For beneath the surface lurks a rare and wicked creature. In the Welsh dialect, it is called Llamhigyn Y Dwr, or Water Leaper. This aquatic cryptid is said to resemble a giant frog or toad. However, there is little specification on the term giant, but most believe these creatures to be roughly the same stature as a medium-sized dog. Further to the leaper's appearance, their heads and torsos are atypically frog or toad-like, with large toothless mouths, bulging eyes, earless heads, and typically darker green or brown skin pigmentation. Their limbs, however, are highly unusual for a creature of their size. Their front legs support large membranous wings, not dissimilar to that of a bat, which enable the water leaper to glide through the water as well as above the surface for brief periods of time. They are also missing their back legs entirely, and are instead supported in their movements by a large tail at their rears. But this tail is not simply for mobility, as on the tip of this appendage is a sizable stinger, which contains a highly toxic venom. This stinger can be used for viciously striking its prey and killing it either with lethal precision or the venom delivered through a wound. The leaper's wicked features match perfectly with their reputation. Long have these creatures been the bane of the Welsh, attacking and consuming any livestock that strays near the water where they make their homes. Though farm animals at pasture are not the only tempting prey, as foolish children who do not heed the words of their parents and play loudly in the rivers and lakes will also make for an easy meal. Seemingly fearless in their pursuit of food, an unsuspecting fisherman may well find himself as more tempting bait than the worm that wriggles on the end of his line. As previously stated, leapers make their homes in large bodies of water, whether this be rivers, ponds, lakes, etc. Like most frog or toad species in the UK, they are believed to hibernate on land during winter, within muddy wallows or beneath wet leaf piles, making winter a safe period from them, in theory. Often returning to the same body of water they themselves spawned in order to procreate. They may, however, move from one watercourse to another, depending on food, territory disputes, and predators, being vulnerable to most conventional attacks, like pitchforks. Given their enormous size, these animals require large water sources, which will enable easy maneuverability for their unique means of motion. While on land, these amphibians are slow and cumbersome, their winged arms helping to stabilize their bodies, as well as drag them across the ground, while their powerful tails help push them. Although they are vulnerable while on their backs, they are capable of quickly flipping upright again. It is only in the water where they are truly a threat. Not only are water leapers able to swim incredibly fast while submerged, they are also perfectly camouflaged beneath the surface. Their great swimming speed is key to their hunting capabilities, consuming fish, crustaceans and so on within the water, but on the surface is where the larger meals reside. When prey approaches the water's edge, a leaper will gather up enough speed to burst out from the water and use its wings to glide across the surface. Here it may let out a devastating shriek, which commonly disorients its prey, preventing the target from fleeing. Once within reach, the leaper's vicious stinger will strike at its prey, killing it, so that the leaper may then consume its meal without any further resistance. Please note that while as yet inconclusive, it has been theorized that water leapers carry a natural antivenom to the substance it contains in its stinger. This may well enable it to consume the food it has already envenomated. Further research will need to be conducted. Despite of this species' strong offensive capabilities, sightings of them have become few and far between in recent years. This may be down to a number of reasons, such as habitat encroachment, being hunted to extinction, or perhaps we simply don't know enough about the species' breeding habits, and there may well be spawns of water leaper tadpoles developing as we speak. Until we know for certain, they are classified as rare. While currently not imposing a great threat to the populace of Wales and beyond, water leapers have more than earned their status as a creature to be wary of, stalking the waterways in search of food and indiscriminately feasting on any unfortunate animal or human that wanders too close. So next time you're walking by a river or dipping your feet into a lake, watch carefully and be on your guard. That sudden splash may not be a fellow traveller, but the giant hungry beast gliding quickly towards you, and the last thing you'll feel is the cold piercing stab of its stinger, and its venom coursing its way through your blood. Stratagem. So, here's the scenario. Jar 19 highly suspects that the Welsh are hiding something, and it's your job to figure out what. Under the clever guise of a fisherman, fake beards provided by Jar 19 Labs, you are sent to scour the land gathering intel from all the locals who pass by you, singing mysterious secrets and riddles in their bygone dead language, as the Welsh are known to do. However, while posing in a lake, rod in hand, you notice two large, bulbous eyes watching you from deeper in the water, which quickly disappear beneath the surface. Immediately, you suspect the presence of a water leaper and its malicious machinations towards you. Your plan of attack. Firstly, shore leave. Before anything else, you should do all you can to try and make it back to dry land, where the water leaper will be at an immediate disadvantage. Move calmly but quickly out of the water, remaining watchful for any sudden activity on the water surface, so as to avoid the amphibian's leap attack. Secondly, water fight. Should the leaper knock you into the water, then you must immediately locate and restrain its tail. This will be a challenge as the versatile swimming movements of the creature will knock you about. However, if you can disrupt its movements by impairing its wings, then this should allow you enough time to wrestle the frog into submission and drag it back to shore. If successful, please skip directly to point 4. Thirdly, live bait. If you are able to escape the water unimpeded, then you must now lure the cryptid out. Acting as live bait, stand on the water's edge and act as though you weren't planning to trap a giant frog monster. If successful, the water leaper will erupt out of the water and towards you. Cover your ears and swiftly dodge the attack. In doing so, it should have landed on the dry land or in the shallows. Advantage, you. Fourthly, land war. Quickly, make for the frog and restrain, or if necessary, sever its tail, and drag it back further onto the shore. Remember, this creature still has powerful arms, so flip it over onto its back and try to keep it still, rendering the water leaper helpless. Fifthly, incredible work. The leaper will be brought back to the lab. Just think, with a few genetic mutations, we might just be able to bring the species numbers up and spread them all across Wales. And who says I don't have a heart? Pop quiz. Question number 1. Can water leapers fly? Answer, yes. Although it's more of a glide, their membranous wings allow these cryptids to take to the air across their environments. Question number 2. Are water leapers defenceless without their stingers? Answer, no. Water leapers can produce a sonic shriek from their mouths which temporarily discombobulate their prey. Question number 3. Will water leapers die when out of water? Answer, no. At least not right away, as like other amphibians they can survive for prolonged periods outside of water, but do require a constant source nearby. Question number 4. Is it true that water leapers do not eat humans? Answer, no. Water leapers will consume human beings and not just other animals. Question number 5. Do water leapers hibernate? Answer, yes. During winter, water leapers will lie dormant until warmer weather has come and their bloodthirsty manner of living may continue. If you scored 0 to 1, then you've croaked. If you scored 2 to 3, then you might be alive, but you're completely hopping mad. And if you scored 4 to 5, Magnificent work. I'm quite fond of you, warts and all. Conclusion. Excellent work. I'd say you're ready to get out there and face whatever challenges plot against you. And if you're not, then don't worry. You can rewatch these survival guides as much as you like. And they're non-refundable. I'm very proud of the progress you've made, and I know you're going to take the future in your stride. I've got a good feeling about you, Toad of Toad Hall. Boop boop. Good luck, and don't die.